dual wielding right now, fam. See me? Oh, okay. Let's go to this Ferrari meet real quick.
And I'm hotter than a fucking hotter than a
Definitely avoided a dead iguana there. I really, you know, it actually hurts me to see dead animals. I really don't think it's a good idea to run them over after they're dead either. See guys, that was 80. Car took off. I need 120 degrees in the rear tires, guys. So I'm switching back to four-wheel drive. Look at this. Crazy. Alright guys, what do you think these two models are? And how much do you think they're worth? By the way, I'm pretty sure when I was growing up, this was the bigger version of the Ferrari. And this was a big car, and now it looks small, which is crazy to think. Absolutely gorgeous. The headlights were so modern. And Alex, back at TS1, you have the cleanest one of these, man, honestly. Gorgeous. All right, fam, what's good? So, imagine live streaming now, of course, is big, but it's been around for at least 10 years, guys. I think I first got into live streaming when it was Twitch Plays Pokemon, and it was the original like red and blue versions. And basically people who were watching the stream could post in the comments what they wanted the game to do, and the stream would then translate the comments to actions in the game. And it was crazy to see basically like a hive mind try to beat the game, and they did it. But that was the first time I was like, oh wow, streaming is crazy. Then the next time was probably around 2016, 17. I realized people were live streaming just going around like their daily like life. You know, they had a network connection, and they would just start streaming in public transportation, you know, in the restaurants and stuff like that. And that's when I started to realize also that, you know, there was a limit to what people could do when they're live streaming, because these guys would open up their live stream to donations, and anyone could donate and then play a sound of their choice. So you would be on public transportation, right? And the funniest thing with this would be like a you know, a Southeast Asian brown dude in like England on the T or whatever the transportation is, right? and all of a sudden one of his viewers sends a donation of like $20 and then plays like a terrorist song, like, you know, like the Allah Akbar or whatever that like, not, I don't know what they say, but like, you know what I mean? And like, it's on loudspeaker in the public transportation, and it's this brown guy. It's so awkward, but it's funny, and he's just trying to laugh it off. But you know, I don't think it's that offensive. I'm for free speech, freedom of expression. Now, someone can, you know, tell you to stop, that's fine, but if they physically assault you, they're taking it too far. Freedom of expression is also to protect, you know, individuals from the state, so that they can always, you know, think past situations where the state no longer represents the individual's interests. Because now, especially in the times that we live in, the state does not represent our interests, and instead it would label us as dangerous thinkers for supporting freedom of speech. And you have to be very careful with how you support freedom of speech, because the right wing likes to say freedom of speech, but then if anyone says, you know, something that they don't like, they go ahead and try to alert their, you know, employers, you know, the local officials. That is also basically, you know, a version of groupthink and doublethink to prevent people from having critical, you know, thinking ability, independent thought, and challenging, especially when people are in positions of power, their corruption. This country, many people have forgotten, you know, to be an American means that the state represents our interests, that we're represented, that we're taxed on things that we believe in, that we have a say in. Very healthy noise there. The car is so quick that even in third and fourth gear, like 60 to 80, it will go sideways. We're in 70 and I'm like light throttle, because a little bit more than that, the tires aren't that warm. They're at 100, and I need like another 10 degrees of heat in the back tires. on a Saturday, I don't know what changes in the morning, but people go from 60 to 100 real quick. And honestly, I don't even see this type of, you know, speed in Georgia. Like, that's crazy. So I did an instant premiere on the video today, and I'm getting back into that mode, guys. I like creating again, you know, it's nice. Sometimes you need to find yourself a little bit again, be balanced, because this is fun for me, this is joy, you know, and it's a nice way to share the experience. But in order for this to be joyful for me, you know, I have a lot of other things that I balance. And to make it look effortless, it takes a lot of effort. Then that'll always be true. Come on, buddy. Sign to 80 in the left lane. So funny. People drive so terribly in Florida. And it's all because that police officer was in that left lane. Subsidize people who cannot drive. I should just stay in the left lane. It's so annoying to drive in Florida. The average IQ in Florida is possibly lower than Georgia. I guarantee you, fam, that the smartest people on this planet are at peace with the system being so broken because they use their IQ to succeed. But that doesn't mean that spiritually they accept the reality for what it is. And that is a great level of discernment that takes a long time to get. And once you're at peace with Source spiritually, you can understand that the reality on this earth is more so of a prison planet with control systems put in place with minds that are not even at the same level of intellectual capacity that you are. Not to mention the spiritual depth. When you think back to the Vatican withholding information that the Earth was not the center of the universe or the galaxy or our solar system, they did that for hundreds of years. It's so funny for me to look at people who look up to Elon Musk, knowing that he's just another monkey who thinks that rockets are the best way to leave the Earth. We already have different propulsion systems, and yet our first trillionaire is still using rockets. That's 100 years old, guy. You know what I mean? But once you're at peace and you know, like once you're aware, right? It's just very comical, it's all comedy. It's no longer as much of a tragedy as it is a comedy, and that's where you can find happiness because you can make it comedic while making a lot of money and spiritually knowing that most of the human beings here are not able to desynchronize themselves from the frequencies that are keeping them so trapped in fear and this rat race mindset. Alright fam, I put in a car wash because the one by me was not working this morning, but the membership I have, the app is called Max Car Wash. It has all the places. Oh man, rear wheel drive is a hint of danger in this car. I mean, it's a lot of danger if you don't know how to drive, but it's always a hint of danger, which is you can never fully trust the car. The moment you fully trust the car, it's over, guys. If you guys have never seen Office Space, which I think came out the end of the 90s, that was one hell of a movie that shows the simulation and what happens when you apply reverse psychology. Alright fam, got a quick wash. Now, let's get over to the meat. That was such a tight curve. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's so wavy over here. This shit is ridiculous. These fuel tanks. I guess that's a do not enter. Gas station layout is ass. Car wash was decent, but the drying wasn't very good, I would say. I don't know why you wouldn't merge. To the Ferrari meet. It's at a place called House of Devon. I don't know if I'm saying that right. House of Devon. DVAM. Anyway, guys, if you want to invest in one thing for the next 12 months, just put money into the ETF DRAM. All right? Microsoft just announced the price of the Xbox will be going up. PlayStation price, you know, their console's higher. The steam machine, the steam box that's coming out is all priced higher than it should have been because, there's a Ferrari, because the manufacturers of the memory chips, the RAM, can set their own prices because the demand is so crazy from the data centers and AI applications. And Microsoft said, get ready for the price to double by the end of 2027. So consoles that came out in 2020, the Xbox Series X and the PS5, have gone up in price like 20%. And they're gonna keep going up in price. That's not normal, guys. That's not a sign of a good economy. When consumers now are paying more money for older technology, and any new technology is going to be at an extreme premium. So Apple is raising their prices. Guys, this is the enshittification of our daily lives because the state is going to allocate, the invisible hand is going to allocate, and we know what the invisible hand is. It's the billionaire class, the transhuman billionaire class that acts like vampires on society, that has removed our agency, our buying power, our critical thinking abilities. It's so, you know, it's so just wicked when you really think about it. And now, what's gonna happen is consumers are no longer gonna be able to access the best tech at even the surface level. AI itself will also become kind of classist with, you know, access to models that are state-of-the-art blocked by governments or only given to certain corporations. And with memory prices going up, that means consumers, individuals, you know, will be unable to run the greatest open source models locally because they just won't have the economic ability to purchase the RAM to run the models. You know? We're heading into a very dark time and people just don't understand. Everyone's just asleep at the wheel. But to be aware of these things and telling people, how do you think I feel, fam? You think these people around here are thinking about this? We're about to celebrate 250 years of this country, this beautiful country. But I think we've had 100 years of basically terrible government. Yeah, there's no way I'm taking that. I don't even know this intersection. Listening to one of my favorite songs from the FIFA soundtracks, Black and White Town. Guys, you know, there's no pause button in the car. The only way to pause the music is to turn the music completely off. So I guess the volume and the power button is really the pause button, but I wish BMW, there could be a pause button right here, BMW. What was supposed to be here? I gotta put something here now that I see it as an empty spot. Guys, I see an M4 Cs coming from the far left. It's lime green, signal green. Oh man, I think there's also maybe a G83 convertible somewhere in that traffic. Let's see if it passes by. Oh, okay, so M440. There it is. It's pretty sick. I wouldn't be able to do the lime green. Man, when this car is hopping like that, there's really nothing that's gonna get traction if you apply more throttle. You have to actually ease off the throttle and find the point where it's gonna get traction. Tires are probably a little misty, a little wet. And that's what traction off. But that's basically like when the car is doing that, that's me trying to prevent the tires from breaking loose. It's like manual traction control. Comes off as very jerky though. And it can be embarrassing from the outside, but you know what, whatever. Still have control of the car. I'm easing into the throttle to not break the tires loose, because like I said guys, in third gear, fourth gear, 60 to 70 miles an hour, 50 to 60 to 70, just all hell can break loose with this car. Natural verbal, guys. Sounds ridiculous. Let's turn the verbal off now. Much cleaner sound. I don't know why people are retarded. What town we're in. I think we're in Boca. Be nice to grab an espresso, maybe have something to eat. I've been going to the gym and fasting, guys, and you can build a lot of lean muscle that way. Honestly, you can change your physique very quickly when you have a good mind body muscle connection. And I'm telling you, when that sativa hits and you got that medical rosin, you really can sense your muscles. I think the biggest thing that I've seen is that people are too afraid to challenge their own ego and their identity, to understand why they are the way they are. And you see it all over the place, really. Let's see if we can enter the House of Devon. Might be a place of worship.
man. What's your name?
Romy.
Romy? Okay.
Yeah.
Just pull in here in this lot. Park anywhere.
Okay, thank you, man. What was your name?
Paulo.
Paulo?
Yeah.
Oh, nice name, bro.
Thanks, man. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, brother.
I like the color. Good
Thank you,
color.
brother. Super sick GT3. I thought this was a Ferrari meet, right?
It's a 051 package, I think.
Looks great. Oh yeah.
Sounds good stuff.
Oh, I hear it. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it definitely has a Z51 package.
This sounds better than mine, I think.